Hey everybody, it's me yet again. Once we finally got a decent day's worth of weather out here, so kind of making my trip downtown to get a couple comic books. This is your ever so crazy Werewolf 1 coming at you. Well, just call me Werewolf, I don't give a damn. Anyway, a little bit more information for you regarding Cockygate. As far as I know, we have good news and we have bad news. The good news is that the temporary restraining order that Faleena Hopkins tried to have levied against Mr. Kevin Nepper, again, I cannot pronounce the guy's name, I apologize, or at least his surname. Again, I apologize. That has been thrown out, as has the attempt to sue him, which is very good news indeed. So what that basically means is that the temporary restraining order that was set up to be levied against his petition of cancellation for her trademark has been thrown out. What that also means is that currently the TTAB, and I don't remember what it stands for, has currently listed Ms. Hopkins' trademark on Cocky as cancellation pending, which means they have received the petition for cancellation and they are moving forward with that, but I'm not sure exactly what that entails or what that means. The lawsuit against Ms. Crescent and Ms. Watson is, I believe, still ongoing, or at the very least one of them is still dealing with a lawsuit. I'm not sure which one. I don't have the information right in front of me. That means that particular aspect of this could still be going on. The lawsuit is in regards to the publication of a number of titles that are out there that Miss Hopkins has been trying to use her trademark as a cudgel against, all of which containing the word cocky in the title. She is also attempting to try to shut down the publication and distribution of one of the books that was basically an anthology story that was intended as a protest against her actions. And of course, that book is a romance anthology entitled, get this, Cocktails, the Cocky Anthology. Or, I believe that's the title. It is definitely called Cocktails. I don't remember if the subtitle is the Cocky Anthology or the Cockiest Anthology, whatever. But that appears to still be allowed to be put out and purchased. And I believe that was because they made the argument that it is being done as a protest and also possibly parody. I don't know. So yeah, good news, bad news. The good news is at least one of these lawsuits is still ongoing. The bad news is that we don't know what's going to happen with these lawsuits, and that we still could see the judge make a call that would cause problems for the writing community. We also know the good news is that the temporary restraining order was thrown out. Mr. Nepper, again, I can't pronounce his last name. I apologize for this. He has been removed from the lawsuit. So what that basically means is he is free to pursue the trademark cancellation. And if he gets that canceled, the majority of this issue should go away. And again, now I've said this before, I will say it again, I will probably say it multiple times. And I say this now directly to Miss Faleena Hopkins. I have read your so-called open letter to your past self. I said this on Twitter. It is full of flagrant lies, half-baked truths, or rather half-baked half-truths, and seemingly rambling incoherence at best. And I also said this multiple times across multiple videos. You have a trademark on either the Cocker Brothers or the Cocker Brothers of Atlanta. If you had used that trademark for your series, because it is a legitimate mark, nobody would have batted an eye if you had trademarked the Cocker Brothers of Atlanta and used that as a defensible mark. But that's not what you did. You tried to trademark the word cocky. You also tried to steal somebody else's font design and place a trademark on that. This is why you were given a cease and desist letter on that. Yes, we're aware of it. So again, Ms. Hopkins, let me direct you to a pair called the Fine Brothers. They attempted something very similar with the word react in their YouTube videos. The outcry was such that they realized this was a mistake, aside from the fact that, again, common use word. They backed down, they apologized, and not only did people forgive them, but business has gone on as usual. You could make all the backlash against you go away if you simply canceled the trademarks on cocky, moved ahead with your trademark on the Cocker Brothers, and apologized sincerely to the writing community. All right? I have written one book and self-published it in 2006. I have done fan fiction. I have done work for a college magazine. The writing community, regardless of genre, has typically been a very supportive and very forgiving group, if you give them the chance to be. Continuing to double down the way you have is the reason why the entire community of writers is out there speaking out against you, speaking out against your trademarks, speaking out against your books. The fact that apparently you were also a book stuffer did not help, and I only just recently found out what book stuffing was, and quite frankly, I find the practice appalling. Look, Faleena, straight up, you done goofed. But I honestly think you could redeem yourself with a simple yet sincere apology and removing the trademarks that you have on cocky as a word and as a word mark. You're not going to win this. And if you did, the problem is at that point, then you actually have opened the door to very dangerous ground, and every writer on the planet, if you think they're upset with you now, imagine the backdraft you would get if you actually succeeded in keeping the trademarks on cocky as a title and as a font. Particularly because, again, you stole that font. We know that the license agreement that that man has out there does not allow you to trademark that font. Keep this in mind. The writing community, by and large, is a very supportive and, if necessary, forgiving group. We're out there to support each other as much as we are out there to try to make names for ourselves. Up until this entire event came down, I would have said that this is perhaps the one community that is out there to make names for themselves without hurting anyone else, barring any kind of personal grudge against another author. And I've seen very few and far between of those. Maybe none. I don't know if there's any legitimate beefs out there between other writers. I have no beefs with anybody. Nobody knows my name, so nobody has any beefs with me, I think. Right now, the entire writing community has a beef with you in general. Now, again, your lawyers tried to claim that readers are unsophisticated and are easily getting confused by different titles. I'm sorry. Your lawyers are completely out of their minds. So let me make that absolutely clear. They tried to make this claim, they failed. Again, you have the power to end all of this by simply doing two things. One, removing all your trademarks save the one on the Cocker Brothers, because that's a defendable mark, and that's what you've been utilizing as the general title of your series up until you got these other trademarks. So I don't think anybody would begrudge you the trademark for the Cocker Brothers. That's number one. Number two, a sincere, heartfelt apology to the writing community at large would go a long way to restoring your damaged reputation. I say damaged, but let's be honest, right now your reputation's in tatters. But an apology would help. We're writers, for the love of God, Faleena. All right? Our job is to go out and entertain the people who read our work. All right? We create worlds upon worlds through the written word. And if we can make one person's day a little bit brighter, I'd say that actually is a hell of a great thing. All right? I am never going to be some kind of superstar writer. I'm never going to be J.K. Rowling. I'm never going to be Stephen King. I'm not even going to be Dean Koontz. But you know what? I'm okay with that. Because if even one person reads my work and enjoys it, I've done my job. All right? And more to the point, I've done what I set out to do. So again, you have the, or to make this all go away. Hey folks, how's it going? You have the power to make all of this go away with a simple apology and getting rid of these fraudulent trademarks. That's all you got to do, Faleena. Take care. Bye.